want a war, you're going to get one.
What was that? He had no time for one more play.
He had an opportunity to win that game.
But the referee screwed us. The brother screwed us.
I'm upset, but
the brother screwed us.
At least they fought back and tried.
Only Cowboys game.
You
The
literally
brother screwed us. The brother screwed us. He had one man opportunity for one more play.
Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, Dingbat here. Welcome to day 4 of Eagles Training Camp Live. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and joining me today. Kellen Moore just spoke not too long ago, and all I can say is I think this offense is going to be unstoppable. What is going on, everybody? Happy good Saturday morning. I'm still trying to wake up, but Donnie, what's going on? Red, Mike, Dev, Lazy Ford, CZ, Grind, what's going on? Eagles, Red, some Black Ninja, what is happening, my man? Sam Fleming, James, King George, go Birds, Jason, K. Robinson, Twits, what's going on? Lonely, Shaq, anybody I missed, I apologize so much. Eagles are at practice. They are going, and this is A.J. Brown kicking field goals. I mean, is there a better way to start than A.J. Brown kicking field goals here? Check this out. Dang, he stinks. Better than I could do. I could not do that. But A.J. Brown kicking field goals, I love. And Kellen Moore spoke. Let's catch up. Everybody's working out. There's Chris Franklin. Shout out to him. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. is practicing today. Let's see if he gets first team reps. That's what I want to see. But it's going to be interesting. Let's see here. Here's wide receivers. Well, returners returning. There's Smith, Anaya Smith. He's got 82. Mike Quick. Then you got Ross. Then Shipley. I think this team, kick return wise, I think they're pretty stocked. You know what I'm saying? Drew, what's going on? How are you? Good morning, 500. Haggart, Daybud, Goldberg. Have a great day. You too, my man. I was nervous, not gonna lie. About what? What were you nervous about? Kellen Moore. I could get that. Come here. What's up? My little buddy wants to hang out. What's going on? They all want me to hold them now. That's their new thing. Let's see here. See, Jake Elliott, 6 field goals today. 32, 36, 41, 28, 44, 45. That's just, I mean, that's something we expect. Peter DeLuca's back for the Eagles. He's the new head orthopedic physician. He was with the team nearly 20 years before they made a change in 2018. So they're bringing back their old surgeon. I don't know what that means. Hurts, Tanner McKee working on throwing. Mark is miserable. I mean, dude, Love goes against the most expensive contract. Dallas is so screwed. Let's just be honest. They're done. They're done. You know. All right. So here's a practice report. Will not practice today. Oren Burks and Brett Toth. Everybody else is practicing. Good sign. Here you got A.J. Brown and Smitty doing drills. Thanks for taking Kellen Moore from the Cowboys. Oh, no, thank you for giving him to us. We'll take him. It's going to be a very miserable, come here, other cat. It's going to be very miserable for Cowboys fans when they realize that Kellen Moore never was the problem. Clark, a member for 31 months. What's going on, man? It's supposed to be super early on the West Coast. What have I missed? Look, nothing so far. They're practicing. We're kind of warming up ourselves. We're trying to wake up. It's 7:26 where I'm at. He said Jordan Davis isn't. Look, he's just making things up. How can anybody say that Jordan Davis? Jordan Davis. Let me show you Jordan Davis. You guys want to see Jordan Davis? There's Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis is Jalen Carter. Right, that's Carter. And then here's Davis. You can't tell me Davis don't look good. Davis looks good, man. Look at it. That's a 330-pound dude. Nah, dude. I don't know why I keep showing that dude. But he's fine. That's the only time Texas boys get some. Oh, boy. So we had 2 Eagles not practicing. Britton Covey, Devontae Smith. And I appreciate you guys being here. Like I said, we're experimenting with live streaming these practices. I'm sorry I should have been here a little earlier. I figured by the time they got on the field, I thought it would be perfect timing, but I was off. There's Devontae Smith. Injuries won't practice. We've seen that. More for same thing. There's AJ catching it. Here's Jurgens and Steams getting work together. Make it breakfast, Philly. What do you like? I'll take some eggs. You can never go wrong for me with eggs. Let's see. That's pretty much what we got right now. So they're doing drills still. As soon as they finish the drills, then it's time for the 11-on-11s, all those things. It's going to be interesting. I'm very curious to see if Quinyon Mitchell will get any type of repetition with the first team. Good morning, 500. You have an email address. I have some information to give you about getting a good to us. Yeah, Yo Philly 500 at hold on, Yo Philly 500 at yahoo.com would be the best way. Thank you so much. I loved hearing Kellen Moore. So wide receiver 3 is going to have to adjust to where Smitty and AJ are, as they should. Sam says, what's good, Dingbat? Here watching with the little one. Awesome. His name is Zayden. What's up, Zayden? Yeah, shout out to Zayden. He just turned 3. Happy birthday, Zayden. Shout out to you. And he loves watching Eagles football with his pops at 5. Thank you, man. That's awesome. Yeah, happy birthday, Zayden. Shout out to you. Philly, who do you think was the second linebacker? I think it sounds like, if you listen to Fangio, right? And Fangio starts talking about Bond, like he's like, I've never seen him so happy. I think he really likes Bond. So I think Bond's got the inside track. Eventually, I think it's going to be Trotter, but we'll see. How does the Hall of Fame game work this year? I believe it's Thursday. What's up? I believe it's on a Thursday night, and then they do the ceremony. They used to do the ceremony stuff Saturday, and then Sunday was the game. They changed it, I believe. I think the Hall of Fame game, I think it's the same day as the Eagles open practice. Mr. Perez, what's going on? 500, how would you feel about our culture this year? I'm getting goosebumps watching these. They look like everybody's smiling. Everybody looks to be in a really good place. And I was reading about CJ Gardner-Johnson and just the what he brings to the team. His presence already being felt. Eric, what's going on? He goes, I'm excited about this team. Would love to see the front office stay out of the offense and defense. so that they can. It's not all about analytics or some jump. I agree. It would be nice. I still think there's a couple moves that they got to make, though. Sam says, it sounds like Bond and Trotter might have an outside shot. Trott's been running with the ones. But yeah, Trotter was running with the ones the other day. Let's see if he runs with them today. Should be really interesting. So Trotter practicing. Lander Dickerson is back at full practice. So that brings up something interesting too. You've got Dickerson is back. They've had Becton at left guard while Dickerson was out. Now with Dickerson back, will Steen split snaps with the first team with Becton? That's what I want to see. How many snaps does Becton get at right guard today with the first team? Yeah, so Hall of Fame game's Thursday the 1st, and the Eagles open practice is Thursday the 1st. Who do you think will make a bigger impact on defense, Davis or Carter? I think Carter. I think Carter. I think Carter is going to be an absolute stud this year. So I would go Carter, then Davis, then Trotter. Mark Holmes saying that Davis has been struggling. He's just making shit up now. That's not what we've been hearing about Davis. The one thing you've heard about Davis and Carter is, one, they seem to fit this scheme well. They like it a lot. They both look like they're in tremendous shape conditioning-wise. Now we'll just have to see if Davis can actually maintain that through the year. Radiation Bots, a member for 23 months. Thank you for your support, my man. He goes, yo, 500, how are we looking out there so far? I think we're looking good. I'm very excited and encouraged by the first few days of practice, because it looks like a lot of the issues last year, that bad feeling is gone. No updates right now in practice. They're just running through their thing. We only heard one thing from Fangio. Had more bend than he realized. That's about it. He had more bend. In which way? You mean his why? You mean his defense? You mean bend don't break, or do you mean bend in what he's willing to do? Oh, dude, I'm sorry. I'm waking up. You mean Jordan Davis and his bend in rushing? I gotcha. Yeah, we've heard other things. We've heard he looks really quick, just doing drills and things like that. But he also looks like he's way better conditioned. So I have heard those things. It's very hard to judge defensive tackles, defensive ends, and stuff, in my opinion, in situations like this. But what we could get from Jordan Davis is, does he look conditioned? Does he look like he has speed? Is he out of breath after a few drills? So far, so good. How do you feel about listen, I like Vic Fangio. He's an old school guy. I kind of like that feel. But whether his scheme is exactly what I like or not, that's a whole nother question. And I just don't know today. Ringo cornerback 2 today. I would assume so. Here we go. So, all right, let's take a look as 11-11s are beginning. So Eagles first team defense, 11-11s, Baun and Devin White. So there's Baun again. And then you have Darius Slay and Ringo. So Ringo getting first team reps again. That's 2 days in a row that he's getting it. Dad, what's going on, man? How are you? Chris Scott, what's up? I'm expecting Carter to have the same jump in year 2 as Fletcher Cox had. The kid is a stud. I expect a big jump as well. It's very interesting. Ringo, day 2, starting at corner. So we'll see. We'll see how that updates. Now, so Ringo gets first crack. Now, they're going to rotate Isaiah Rodgers in. The question is when does Quinyon Mitchell get first team reps? That's what I'm waiting for. Vic he gives you Jim Johnson vibe, but I think their defensive philosophies, I don't know if they're quite the same. If you keep losing weight, you'll be 50. I'm only like 5.8 pounds. It just comes off so slow. That's really what I have to get it to lose quicker. We'll see. So Baun is taking first team reps to start practice 11 on 11s every day this week. It's just the way it is. Here you go. Let's see here. Brandon Lee Gowan says Quinyon Mitchell is in dime cornerback with the first team defense. Nakobe Dean, the sole linebacker. That's not surprising at all to me. I want to see him when he's on 11-11s. So he's getting first team with the dime, and that makes sense. Bald Eagle, thank you for the super chat. First one of the day. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you. Shout out to you. Baun and White are the starters at linebackers, it looks. It looks like that, yeah. It does. You should stream the. I don't. I'm not gonna probably even watch it. To be honest with you, I have no interest. Mike says, "Yo, Philly. Since January, I went from 6'4", 250 to 190. That's what I need to do, Mike. That's what I need to do. Congratulations to you, man. That's an awesome job. I thought he was limited. Who? You thought who was limited? Dean was limited all OTAs in spring. He was still in a boot in the spring, but he's full go right now. He's been like that, I think, since the last mini camp. Let's see here. We got some more updates. Mekhi Becton in at first team right tackle, and Trevor Keegan in at left guard with mixed unit, but mostly starters. Sounds like they're giving guys a breather. Becton at right. Becton's everywhere. Becton's left guard. He has been at right guard. He has been at tackle. Dude, Becton gonna be a stud. Do you think Hurts is an NFL top 100 this year? I don't think he'll be on their list, but he should. He'll be on it after this year. I'll tell you that. Slay will be benched. I hope not. What up, 500? What are your Eagles fans expecting for Barkley? Big year. Top 3 back this year. That's what we're expecting. We're expecting him to go crazy this year. And I dead mean it too. I think he has a monster year. Go Bird says, gotta be honest, my opinion, Dean is a bust. I haven't seen anything. I like I said yesterday in yesterday's live stream, if Nakobe Dean can't beat out Zach Baun by the time the season starts, I think that's an issue. I think that's a really bad sign. You know, like I feel like this is like Dean's year. Like Dean's got to show up, and we'll see. It's early; they haven't even started hitting yet. You know, they haven't even put on the pads. But I look at it coming into camp as Dean is going to at least win that job, at the very least. Sam says, Baun had what, like 2 picks in his very limited snaps with the Saints. It makes sense that he would have more upside in Vic's eyes. Yeah, I mean, he never started at inside linebacker. So, I mean, to me, it's not so much Baun, it's what does it say about Dean? Bald Eagle, thank you for the super chat, my man. Your package, Dean Bradbury for trade. I probably wouldn't Dean. I mean, you need linebackers. Philly, I lose weight slow too. You'd be surprised by how much cutting breads out of your diet can make an impact, like having hoagies or burgers. I know you're so right, and like I could lose like 3 pounds and then have like 1 hoagie, and it's like I totally screwed myself. Package a Dean for a bag of chips. I don't know if anybody would take that, you know. Reese, what's going on, man? Just got here, Philly 5. What's going on? Bradbury moving soon? We will see. I have to believe that that's going to happen. You know, I do. Let's see. Ed Kratz is saying, as I reported when it happened, because it was right in front of me. Eagles confirmed Trotter treated for cramps the other day. That's good. It was nothing big. Brandon Lee Gouten says, not even too long into practice, and A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith have both made pretty difficult catches look easy. They might be good for some or good or something. They're gonna be awesome this year. Mark Frank says this. Quinyon also here you go. Quinyon also got a few first team snaps on the outside with Isaiah Rodgers. Also, Jalen Hurts looked like Hurts took off and ran a few times. He looks faster this year. Everybody's saying he looks faster. I think one, his knee is better, and I think he looks thinner. To me, he looks like talk about losing weight. Hurts looks like he lost some weight. Man, it's only 7:40 on a Saturday. I should be sleeping. Is Huff going to be ready as they're paying him $17 million a year and it was stayed Huff? I saw that. I don't think the Eagles probably like Fangio saying that, but that's kind of what I liked about Fangio. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna find out. I think from a pass rush aspect, Huff is fine. It's coverage, dropping back in coverage, and playing the run. Day 205. I haven't seen Weston Rock. Not since not since that interception. Everyone's hyped for yeah, I mean, I think you gotta be hyped for Barkley. The way I see Barkley is, yeah, there's been injuries and stuff like that, but I just think this is a guy who's got tons of talent, but there's just been nothing around him. Shaq says, y'all downplayed how Hurts was last year. I was saying it all year, and everyone just looked over it. He took a step back. Garbage. Dude was hurt. Oh, yeah, we talked about it on this channel all the time. From the moment, they said he was hurt. We talked about him being hurt. Everything that happened last year was so much more than just what happened with Jalen. Slay scares me. Here he's been getting. Well, he got beat the other day bad by A.J. Brown, but I don't know how much you could worry about. We'll see with Slay. Bald Eagle says we have linebackers depth: White, Bourne, Burks, Trotter, Cunningham still out there. Cuts will happen, and you can find a linebacker that gets cut better. Yeah, I can't argue with that. I cannot. Here you go. 101. Paris Campbell burns Darius Slay down the right. There you go. Who just said it, man? You just brought it to reality. 101. Paris Campbell burns Darius Slay down the right sideline for over-the-shoulder touchdown. Perfect throw from Jalen Hurts to drop it right in the bucket. If there was one word I had to say about Jalen Hurts so far in camp, surgical. He has been absolutely surgical. You haven't heard much about Cam Jordan. I think Cam has been fine. I think it's just really hard to talk about offensive and defensive line when they're not hitting. Slay. Well, listen. Paris Campbell has tremendous speed, and that's why the Eagles like him. I'm hoping. I'm hoping he has a good year and he'll be the real deal for us as that third, wide receiver. This, by the way, was a pass. Well, let's get off, and then we're gonna have to see Gerald Ford again. I don't know why that's in my thing. Yeah, I think this is going to be Slay's last year. I think so. That pass was that was a beautiful pass. Campbell, number 3. Well, right now, number 3 is a wide open spot. They've got Campbell and Ross really battling for it. They've both been changing with the first team. But I would say, if I had to guess depth chart wise, I would say Campbell's probably your number 3 right now. What if Slay retires before? Oh, that's not going to happen. Get business decisions. Slay off my team. Let the young guys eat. See, I think they got to keep Slay for at least leadership reasons. I mean, you got a lot of young guys. I think you need I think you need one veteran back there. Jalen Hurts another dime to one-on-one Devontae who beat Isaiah Rodgers deep down the left side. That I have not gotten that update yet. Let's see if that comes in. But that's great. Another so two great throws. The one thing with Jalen Hurts so far, he's been accurate. I mean that's what they're saying. Zach Berman said to clarify, perfect Trotter's injury, he had leg cramps. Yeah, I don't know. Was there some big deal about talking about Trotter's injury or something? Slay getting Slay, yeah, Slay better now. Listen, Slay, if it was me, all right, and I think you need a veteran presence. However, I think in some ways, if you were to move and say, all right, you know what, our young guys, we're just gonna play them, I would be okay with that. But I don't think that. I think they need a veteran, a leadership. What is Slay going to teach them how to? Listen, I think that there's a lot that Slay can teach them about the position, about being a pro. I mean, yeah, okay, he didn't look good last year, fully admit, but you can't tell me he can't teach those guys about being a pro. We'll see. The one thing I think is it's just so hard when you look at last year how everything went. I mean, it was more than just Slay screwing up. It was more than just Hurts. I mean, it was like a whole team total collapse. All I'm saying is you got Quinyon Mitchell, DeJean, rookies. You got Isaiah Rodgers, who played a few years. And Ringo, second year. I think you need a veteran back there. Slay down low, he might be right. In 51 starts, Hurts 14,043 yards, 107 touchdowns, 44 turnovers. Burrow 14,580 yards, 106 touchdowns, 47 turnovers. One considered top 5, and the others is not making sense. Listen, I'm with you because I have Hurts up there. Fastest on the team? Oh, I don't know. I don't listen. If Slay goes out there and he's struggling, I say throw another guy in there. They've got the young youth to do it. Eagles says 500. I'm ready for week 1. I can't wait to watch this off season and then watch the guys on defense. Watch this offense. I'm sorry. This team has a lot of talent and should easily win 12 games. I have 12 to 14 games. Agree. Phil, you streaming the first Eagles public? Yeah, me and Joey Shakes are going to do a Philly Shakedown podcast like last year. So we will be streaming the Eagles open practice. And anybody that wants to send me footage and stuff during it that's there, we need to make arrangements. Let's see here. Second set of Eagles first team defense 11 on 11s. Can you guys see this? Linebackers are still Zach Baun and Devin White. So they're doing their second sets of 11 on 11s. Baun is still starting. He's clearly your starting linebacker. Isaiah Rodgers is in for Kylie Ringo across from Slay. So they did the first set of 11 11s. Baun and White were your linebackers. Then you had Ringo and Slay. Now they're putting in Isaiah Rodgers with Slay. I want to see Quinyon Mitchell in there with Slay, If another team offers you a fourth dude, I would not. I wouldn't at this point. Next Philly Shakedown is Monday. I got today's stuff with practice, videos. Tomorrow the Eagles are off, so we probably won't stream. I'll just do a video. Monday they'll be back, and we'll be doing a shakedown then. We'll be doing a shakedown on Monday and Thursday. Sure, you can teach young guys. Slay has to stop being selfish and tackle. Got to tackle. I agree with that. Yeah, people don't count Hurts rushing stats, but treated 6 points. Well, what they do is they went from not counting his rushing touchdowns to now they're saying his rushing touchdowns are only because of the tush push, which it isn't true. Bradbury getting burned, Slade pushing instead of tackling, Reed injury prone, Joe liability, Rick Freshrook, Ringo Freshrook, D-line other rotation, everyone got gassed in a few from last year. And then they changed the defense, the defensive coordinator, who for some reason decided to try to change things that they had done all year, which really was stupid. They didn't help themselves last year. I'm talking about, footage, video footage is what I need. Specifically. Big Pickett says young guys would challenge guys like Darrell Green and get smoked. Oh, Darrell Green, I mean, we're talking about a Hall of Famer, right? I mean, Darrell Green was one of the best pure corners I've ever seen. 500, going to watch Deadpool. You going to watch it? Yeah, I watch it. I don't know when, but at some point. I mean, pretty much it's the only movie that I have any interest in seeing this summer. Literally, there's nothing else. Miriam says, I'm starting not to like Shady. He's getting around those people who speak and act like Hurts is not like that. What did he say? What did he say? I'm excited to see these new cornerbacks. I am too. Kenneth Gainwell with multiple first-team targets already. Oh. I'll just leave that here. Eagles defense showing Jalen Hurts. Defense showing Jalen Hurts and offense a look of blitz. Oh, good. Show a blitz. Do a blitz. The Kenneth Gainwell continues. Most moves stink. They're horrible. Deontay and Revis Island were top to do. Coverage-wise, yes. I'll say this. Dion couldn't tackle worth a crap, nor did he even want to try. Pure coverage-wise, yeah. I tell you what, Eric Allen, one of the best pure corners I've ever seen. Run, pass, blitz. That's a Hall of Famer. Playoff Kenny. I mean, I don't, what am I supposed to say? You know what I mean? What am I supposed to say? I can't deal with it. Oh my gosh, Lance! Holy crap, Lance! Wow, thank you, man, so much for the super chat, man. I appreciate that so much. Shout out to Lance, thank you, man. He goes, "Hey brother, go Eagles!" Thank you, man. That's very, very generous of you, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yes, go Eagles is right. Go Eagles is right. Thank you. Shout out to Lance. Very generous. I am so. I don't know. I would love to see Shipley get first team reps. And once again, Lance, man, I really appreciate that super chat. Don't give up on Dean yet. He did win the Bucks Award in college, best linebacker. Give him more. I won't give him one more year, but I'll give him camp. I mean, to me, I think he's got to come out and win this job. And unless Bond goes out there and is like all of a sudden he's some all-pro linebacker. I don't think it's too much to ask that Nakobe Dean beats out Zach Bond. I mean, I don't think that's asking too much. Bald Eagle says, why don't they rotate the corners inside, goes to a slot, takes a break, the guy is on a break. Some guys don't feel comfortable, in the slot. Slot's just a little different. Some guys can play both inside, outside. Some guys can play only inside. Some guys can play only outside. So it's not that easy. Now, I think they should do that at wide receiver. Like, I think that the Eagles should use A.J. Brown in the slot way more than they do. Like, move them around. Like, you know how many times, you can have mismatches with, like, A.J. Brown in the slot. Let's say you have a 3rd and 4. Put A.J. Brown in the slot. I mean, just a simple slant. Then he's going to catch it and run for 10 yards. I don't know why they don't do that more. Yeah, man, I appreciate that, Lance, man. It's very kind of you. Filioso, what's going on, my man? Because what's up? What did I miss? 500. He didn't miss too much. It's been fairly smooth, you know. Let's see here. Zach Berman saying this. Tyler Steen remains the top right guard for the Eagles. Becton is playing right tackle with the twos. So Becton is clearly your number one backup for guard or tackle. Zach Bond is the top linebacker. That's looking more and more like it's the case. And then Ringo was first up at cornerback opposite Slay. Isaiah Rogers took second series. As far as that goes, I don't worry too much about that right now. I think they're trying to feel out those guys. With Dickerson back, Mekhi Becton is at right tackle with second unit. Bradbury at safety with the seconds. I mean, Bradbury only is getting reps as a safety, second string safety at that. It's crazy. Mitch Johnson, what's up, man? How are you? Private says, what about what? What's up? Dean has the skill and smarts. The question is, can his body hold up? Yeah, I guess. But I mean, Daz, do you think it's seriously? Because I know you've been a big Dean guy. I mean, do you think that it's asking too much to think that Dean should beat out Zach Bond? I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer. And if he can't do it, it makes me worry about him. Kenny Pickett, Kenny Pickett. Oh, come on. All right, John Doe. You got your Kenny Pickett in. He stinks. Dave does what's going on. It's up 500. I'm driving from Jersey to Kentucky. Thank God you're on. Oh, man. That's a hike, man. Drive safely. Kenny Pickett, quarterback one. Listen, I'm just hoping Kenny Pickett could be quarterback number 2. Exactly 5. I mean, I don't think it's and I'm not saying I give up on Dean. All I'm saying is that if he doesn't win that starting spot, then I'm going to be very, very concerned that he'll ever manifest to who we think he needs to be. Because I don't know. But when Bond was signed, we all looked at that as I think I said in my video, he's a body, a special teams guy, a rotational guy. Maybe they use him in certain situations. And here's the guy starting. Donaldson, I don't think Dean's going to be out Trotter Jr. I don't either. And then they throw Trotter Jr. out there on 11-11. So they want to take a look at him. So I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. You know, here you go. Kylie Ringo back at first team cornerback, 7-on-7s. Dean and Bond at linebacker. Seems like when they want to give White a breather, that's your look. Yeah, A.J. Brown saw occasionally, not all the time. Barkley in the backfield ready to break out in the secondary, dangerous. Yeah, I would also like to see Barkley line up in the slot, line them out up outside too. I mean, they've got to use these guys, man. The one thing, and this is why I like all the motion now, is the one thing the Eagles used to do is they just used to line up and play. You know, it was like playing, on the playground when you're a kid. Like, they just line up and go. They would just, A.J. Brown, Devon, no motion, no nothing to confuse the defense. A dude who barely played your position should not beat you. Exactly. Dean will at least have all of camp and preseason to prove he should be. Well, that's right. That's right. I'm not going to judge Dean until after preseason. When we get into week 1 and week 2, we'll see how he is. Maybe, because listen, the pads aren't even on yet. Maybe the pads come on, they have a tackling session, and Dean starts to make his move on the roster, on the depth chart. We got to wait and see. It's something that we've got to definitely watch during preseason. Bald Eagle, man, thank you for the super chat, my man. Because I think Steen will start. I think they would rather a guy who is versatile be ready of an injury versus starting him and potentially getting hurt. It looks like that. It does. I just think the ceiling for Becton being, is a first-round pick. I think that he's one of those guys that if he pans out, it'd be huge. I think he wins the linebacker spot, but it's obviously Vic loves Bourne. I know. He does seem to love Bourne, but why? Two main voices of Eagles, Memories of 500. Great to see you again. Oh, thank you, Matthew. It's good to see you, man. Thank you. John J says Dean's been a victim. Dean the victim of being crowned before he proves it. Happening too much with players on this. It happens on every team every year. As long as I remember watching football, the thing with Dean was listed as a first round pick leading up to the draft in almost every mock draft, and then he dropped to the third round. You can't help but feel like, man, we got a steal here. And the thing with Dean is, I don't know that he's been bad. He just hasn't been healthy. But now he's new year, healthy, new coordinator. You got to go out and beat. You got to go out and beat Bourne. You just do. If Becton wins the right guard spot, we have a scariest O-line for 10 years. Tua got a contract yesterday, and then Jordan Love got a major contract. Crazy. Jason says Gainwell was on the field before everyone else working on catching. That's good. That's good. We need Gainwell. We need Gainwell to raise his game, because if he's our backup running back, he needs to raise his game from a year ago. White Birch Acres, thank you for the super chat, my man. Appreciate you. He goes, love getting to listen to the content at work. A little late, so I'll super chat now and go back and listen. Keep up the great. Oh, man, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much. And it's good to have you here, man. Appreciate it. I trust Vic's judgment on the linebackers. He had some great ones. Yeah, I mean, you got to, All right, so let's see here what we got. Uh-oh, John Doe. Kenny Pickett with a dime, 30-plus yard downfield to Britton Covey. How about that? In stride along the left side. Quinyon Mitchell beat by Britton Covey. Wow. There's a lot going on in this. Britton Covey makes nice over-the-shoulder catch on a deep sideline pass from Pickett. Mitchell was in coverage. So what I'll say is this. It's good to see them use Covey as a receiver. I've been saying I'd like to see him get a chance at receiver. Quinyon Mitchell got beat, and Kenny Pickett threw a dime. What are you going to do? Crash test Covey making plays. Tom Brady was in love with the check down, so it's cool with me for Jalen to take advantage of every open fight. I agree. I have no problem with that. The big throws downfield and stuff, that'll come. That will come. But take what you can get. If they're going to give you 5 yards, take it. I have no problem with that at all. I have faith that Fangio will have a top 5 defense by the end of the year. The Eagles have real coaches. They do have real coaches this year. Interesting. Kenny Pickett makes average to below average. What a throw by Pickett, they said. I wish there was video of it. Quinyon, sit down, buddy. It's not going to help my argument for him getting first-team reps. I'm glad we have 2 excellent backup quarterbacks. Sounds like Crash Test is doing something. I think Crash Test needs to do something at receiver. Like, if he's just a returner with the other guys that could do returning, they may be more likely to cut him. I still think Covey is the best punt returner they got, but he's got to play a little bit of receiver. I would like to see Covey out there in a slot sometimes. Just give him a chance. Can't wait to media to call Mitchell a bust now. Well, fortunately, the cameras are off, so they're not going to show it. People still act like Pickett is trash. He's right where he needs to be right now. We're actually fortunate to have him. Might be league's top 3 best backup. I like that. I like it. I mean, I know what he was coming out of college. I know what everybody thought. I know the Eagles liked him. I'm okay with him as a backup. I have no problem with it. But I can't go where John Doe goes. Say we can't pick quarterback 1. We'll see. Bill Belichick would have Covey in the Hall of Fame. You're right about that. El Yapa, man, how's it going? 500. What's going on, man? How are you? I mean, really, Covey is like, if you look at him early in his rookie year, towards the end of his rookie year, he was really good. I thought he was really good last year at punt returns. I mean, he's never really, that I can remember, caused us a big fumble or anything. His returns have gotten better, but he just is invisible at the receiver position. If they could get some reps in from him, that would be interesting. Pickett wears white gloves so his hands look bigger. What? Eagle fan, Vic isn't going to put Mitchell on the field unless he's ready. No, he won't. Lord says, I'm getting ready for the day to... No, I don't think he said anything too juicy. No, I thought it was pretty basic stuff. Quinion is the top defensive back coming out of the draft. He finds a way to start. Let him do his thing. First round talent. I don't like to sit talent, especially if they're cracking to start. I agree. To me, if it's like you get a rookie like Mitchell and it's close, you play the rookie. You play the young guy. You want to take advantage of that rookie contract. I think what the Chiefs did with playing all their young defensive players 2 years ago, and even though they went through their growing pains, they played. And then last year to see where they were. I think the Eagles should employ that too. Covey's in a bubble. He knows he's got to show a training camp. I agree. See, that's what I think. He's got to show you something more than just a returner. There are too many guys on this team that can return. Rodgers could return. Mitchell could return. DeJean can return. Anias Smith could return. John Ross could return. So he's got to show you more. It's going to be interesting to see how he and Fangio get along, right? Fangio has his own way using analytics and how he likes control and how he probably wants the draft picks to play. Yeah, I mean, and like for Fangio to come out and be like, yeah, Huff is not really ready yet. I mean, that I'm sure is not something how he wants him to be saying publicly. Darian Kennard getting first team reps at right guard. So it's interesting. You have Becton plays left guard for 2 days. Now today's playing backup right tackle. And then he gets no reps at right guard at all. And then Kennard is getting first team reps at right guard. I forgot Kennard was even on this team. That's interesting. Can't wait to see Tanner McKee look. Yeah, I want to watch Tanner McKee. He was interesting last year. He gave me Foles vibes, like Foles rookie year. Peter Riley, 8500. I've been following for a long time. How about a wrench, my brother? You got it. You got it. Thank you, man. We got 494 people in the chat. Thank you guys so much for being here. Hit that like. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't. Yeah, I don't care what that. I don't know that the Dolphins. They're in Miami. They're at the beach. I mean, I just think it's a different mindset. Hit that like button. You mean it? Like you mean it. Exactly right. So the Eagles are about an hour into practice so far. We'll see how much more they go. It's going to be an interesting year. And these are all stuff, highlights of stuff from the first couple days of practice. What happened to Will Greer? Haven't heard much about him recently. Having the best for him, West Virginia Eagles. I don't know what's up with Will Greer. I don't even remember. Honestly, I forgot he was on the roster. Big Mix, what's going on, man? How are you? So if you had to guess, would you guess Johnny Ringo starts? I will guess. Well, let's say if you had 3 practices, he started with the first team twice. Roger, I'll say he has the inside shot right now. He's had. I think it would be Rodgers. I still think Rodgers. I'm gonna say Rodgers. Hey, Philly, can we get a cat giveaway? If you guys were closer, if I was closer to everybody, I would. There's just no way I could put these cats on like a plane and send them cross country. I wouldn't do that. You know. Thank you, man. Sam, I've been with for 3 seasons. Ain't nobody, but thank you, Thaddeus. I appreciate that. Steelers offense was. We're gonna see Pickett, and listen, Pickett's gonna get a lot of playing time because I don't think Hurts will play much at all. We're gonna get a lot of Pickett, a lot of Tanner McKee. Jaden, dude, you know what? I want to see Jalen Hunt. I cannot wait to watch that kid. I think that kid's going to be a player. The streak ends. Hurts his crew incompletion has his first crew incompletion on a high pass. Man, where did you see that? I need to see that. These come in slow over here. I was hoping. I wish they had quicker updates. I want to find a place to do has quicker updates. Let's see. Mekhi Becton, Trevor Keegan in at left guard. We saw that. Interesting. 500. What up? Do you think we are going to pick up another player before the season starts? I do. I think they're going to trade. I think they're going to trade Bradbury, and I think they're going to pick up another player. The question is what it is. Now, like, if they're serious about Huff and he's not ready to play, what Fangio kind of said, I would go get Judon from New England. Rodgers looking good. Yeah, Rodgers is looking good. Ringo is looking good. Quinyon Mitchell looking good. Yeah, I know he let the pass by Covey go, but you know what? That happens. It's okay to get beat at camp. It's okay. It's okay to get beat and give up a pass at camp. It's okay for Hurts to throw an interception at camp. Those things are that's what they're supposed to happen at practice. What do I think the biggest weakness we have right now? Biggest weakness to me, the biggest weakness, if you're not talking about it, to me, number one would be depth. I think there's some positions that are just really thin where there's a giant drop off that there don't need to be. But I still think that linebacker position is still. It's hard for me to say, oh, Zach Bond solves all our problems. I think Devin White does. But I still think the linebacker and, the edge rusher, we have tremendous talent. Like, we have some tremendous young guys. They just got to go show us. I have never anticipated preseason games like this year. I know, me too. And, usually, like, you have the first preseason game, you go out, it's like one drive, starters are out, and you're, like, ready for preseason to be over. Like, this preseason, these games, like, I think we're going to be engaged in, like, the third quarter, engaged in the fourth quarter, because there are battles going on, and there are young guys that I want to watch. And I don't remember it ever being like that. Usually by the second half, it's like I could shut the game out, especially because I stream the Eagles preseason. the game does really good in the first half. Everybody leaves in the stream by halftime, and I don't blame them. But I think this year it's different. I think you have enough battles going on. You want to see enough guys. It's interesting. I want to see what Trotter does. I want to see Jalen Hunt. I want to see what Keegan looks like on the offensive line. What will Will Shipley show us? How about the other running back? I forget his name from Georgia. Like there are guys that I want to watch. It's going to be fascinating. Army member for 46 months. Thank you so much for your support. He goes, yo, almost time for the season. I got a good feeling about this team and staff. I do too. I think you're right. I think you're right. You think we see some Zach Bond in preseason? I do. I think you'll see. I don't think you'll see a lot of Devin White. I think you'll see some Zach Bond, and unless he's won the job. Like once he wins the job, you'll see less of him. But I think early on, like week 1 of preseason, I think you see a little bit of Devin White. Then you're going to see Bond and Dean battle, and then Trotter. Milton. Yeah, I can't wait. I think that kid looks like, dude, that kid looks like he could be the guy. Here, look at this. Here's one, and this I don't like. Brandon Lee Gowan says Anaya Smith with a drop. Off-season practices have been a struggle for him. Off-season practices have been a struggle. Well, he missed a lot of OTAs with an injury. Anaya Smith is definitely playing catch-up. He is. But it's a shame because, man, I think that Anaya Smith could win that job, but it looks like it's not going to happen. Yeah, I need to see Nolan Smith pick it up for sure. Me too. Nolan Smith, I mean, I think Nolan Smith, to me, Nolan Smith has to get you at least a minimum of 6 sacks this year. Otherwise, it's a problem. About the music scene. What do you mean, Cloudify? I don't know if you're talking to me. Johnny Wilson is the guy. Johnny Wilson's another guy to watch. I mean, to me, Johnny Wilson, if you look at this, a 6'7" wide receiver, like I want to see him play, I think Paris is right now if you look, there are three major roster battles going on. Corner, linebacker, receiver. If I had to say who's winning each one, I would say at wide receiver, Campbell's winning that wide receiver 3 spot. At linebacker, it's obviously Bond. And then at the cornerback, it's very hard to tell. Ringo's got more starts with the first team over Rodgers to start practice. I don't know how much that means. So I'll go with Rodgers, but Ringo very well could be winning that job right now. It very well could be happening. God, I can't wait till preseason starts. Like, I can't wait. Phil, do you think that Brock Purdy gets paid big dollars to still improve at quarterback? Also, we cut Allen? We don't have Allen. He's not on the team anymore. He was the best in camp punt returns. He's proved. Yeah, he's not with us this year. I don't know if he's in the Olympics. Maybe he's doing the Olympics, but he's not on the team. As far as Purdy goes, I mean, I think when it comes time, Purdy's going to get paid. One thing you have to say about Purdy, he's been to an NFC Championship game, and he came this close. He came a Mark Holmes to winning a Super Bowl. So, yeah, I think he's going to get paid. Dallas better pay Dak before that. Bald Eagle Davis Super Chat goes, I'm not comparing the two, but even Jamar Chase was dropping everything his rookie year in training camp. Everybody was making a big deal. Yeah, the way I see it is all right, you drop a ball, it's going to happen. It's going to happen at practice. I think Anaya Smith is playing catch up because remember, he didn't run at the combine. He couldn't. He had an injury. He missed a lot of OTAs in the spring because of an injury. So, we'll see how he does. Anaya Smith could get out there one game. Let's say one game he comes in, catches a slant route, goes 70 yards. Boom. Here's your third wide receiver. It can happen that quick. I believe Jalix Hunt will be a superstar in the making. I do too, Big Mix. There's something about Jalix Hunt. I'm just telling you. I get these feelings with guys at times. Like you just, I don't know what it is. I get that feel. There's a couple guys on this team I have that feeling about. Jalix Hunt is probably one of them. I think Jalix Hunt will be a star. It may take a few years, but I think he will. I think he's going to be something. I think Steen is going to start at right guard right now. I mean, it seems like they really like Becton in that role because he could go from right tackle to left guard to right guard. Becton can be put anywhere. So Becton, I think his versatility is really a big deal. So I'll say Steen. 500 captains lit. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. First preseason game, I believe, is August 9th. I think it's the 8th or 9th. Let me see. Yeah, I think it's the 9th. Was it versus Baltimore, I believe. Nolan Smith, Josh Sweat, no shoes so far. We haven't heard anything about Josh Sweat. Actually concerns me. Like, I'm a little bit worried about Josh Sweat. I think he's a really good player. He had a great year the year before. But, man, why did you change your number to 19? It just doesn't feel good. You know, just get the guy an umbrella. I'm honestly shocked that Justice Simmons hasn't signed here yet. Should be a no-brainer, right? You would think so, Sean. I mean, to me, when I see them getting Bradbury reps at safety, I'm like, oh, what are we doing? Just go out and get Justice Simmons. He knows the system. I mean, dude, I think with him and C.J. Gardner-Johnson safeties, it could happen. It could also be a situation where, because it's camp, Simmons is like, I don't want to have to go through the daily rigors of camp. I can wait and see, what happens and if I can get my offers up. It may be very easy for him to come in and start running Fangio's system. But I think I have a feeling he's going to end up in Philly. I do. J62 Moon, man, thank you so much for the super chat. He goes, Judon incoming after joint practice with the Pats. Oh, they have a joint practice with the Pats. That's right. We've said this before, and it's happened. You've got to watch. When the Eagles have joint practices with teams, they scout those other players. That's how they winded up getting the running back from Miami. Why can't I think of his name? When they win the Super Bowl. Interesting. It's interesting. King Eagle, what's up, man? He goes, I love how Kylie Ringo's taking control of that cornerback spot. I know. The kid's a player, man. Let's see here. Let me get this up. Devontae Smith mossed Ringo. Speaking of Ringo, down the left sideline on a throw from Jalen Hurts. Devontae Smith. Boy, that is my guy. That is my favorite player on the Eagles right now. Wow. Devontae Smith mosses Kylie Ringo. We'll see if video comes out with that. But hey, listen, that's nothing to be sad about if you're Ringo. Ringo's, Devontae Smith's a hell of a player. So they're still going. I mean, they're like an hour and 20 minutes in practice, right? Justin Simmons wants top dollar, and the Eagles aren't trying to pay top dollar right now. So they're waiting. Yeah, what's going to happen is he's going to sign a 1-year deal with somebody, And I think a 1-year deal with Simmons is perfect. That gives Sidney Brown a chance to just come back from his injury and give him a year. The injury that Brown has usually takes a full year, to get your speed burst. It's one thing with like a torn ACL and stuff to come back from an injury. You could come back, but to get your burst back, to get your quickness back, it takes like a whole nother year. That's why when the Giant fans were all destroying Barkley after he came back from his ACL, I said Barkley needs a whole nother year. Following year, Barkley single-handedly carries that offense into the playoffs. My merch guy is working on it. We'll have some stuff coming out. We got merch being released on Thursday, next Thursday during the open practice. What's up, Logan? How are you? Miriam says Carson Wentz has been good with the Chiefs at practice. Also, my opinion, the Commanders and Bears are sneaky playoff teams. Yeah, the question is going to be how much can that quarterback for Washington take on? Isn't Mariota there in Washington now? I think Washington's going to be better than they were a year ago. I think they might even beat out Dallas. Lucy says Josh Sweat is losing his job in this preseason and can be traded. Maybe you can use to get Judon. I would like to get Judon. I think that would be a great pickup for 1 year. But why do you think he's losing his job? Like, I haven't heard anything about him losing his position. Let's see. Play of camp so far, Martin Frank says. Devontae leaping catch over Ringo on a deep ball from Hurts. Devontae literally climbed over Ringo to catch it. Pound Eagles. I have to see this. I hope they got that on tape. You know, you can't record during 11-on-11s, but the Eagles, like the website, they record and put up stuff. So maybe we'll see. Brandon Lee Gown says Eli Ricks seeing first team cornerback reps. Eli Ringo getting first team. Why is Ringo getting? Why is Eli Ricks getting? Is that because Mitchell let it pass by Covey, or what? No, I guess it's just work. That's interesting. Smitty a stud. Devontae Smith. I think Devontae Smith is going to have a huge year this year. I'm still waiting for that 200-yard game. This Smitty needs to be. Yeah, I want to see a video of it. I'm hoping they have it. You haven't heard of Sweat losing his job because you haven't heard anything about Sweat. Yeah, that's true. I haven't heard anything about Sweat. The only thing I heard about Sweat is he changed his number. See, I think it's so hard to judge those guys right now because they have no pads. They're not hitting. They're not tackling. So to me, when somebody's like, well, how's, Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis doing? I'm only looking at conditioning, speed, how they look in drills, those kind of things. In terms of tackling and sacks, they got to get the pads on. But I haven't heard anything from Sweat, and I don't know why that is. Skinny Batman, right? The ball was underthrown. I don't know. Shaquille says, when you have A.J. Brown, Smee as receivers, it only makes sense to give all of these young cornerbacks first-team reps because you get them against some of the best. I agreed. That's what I love, too, You got, like, Mitchell, DeJean, Ringo, Isaiah Rodgers. Every day they go up against A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. That's what you want. You want them to go up against those guys. And then they get into a game, and it's like, oh, this is who we're going up against? No problem. Smitty is retiring an Eagle, 15,000 receiving. Moonwalks can't. I agree. Agreed. When Devontae Smith goes to the Hall of Fame, when he gets inducted, and it will happen, I'm going to it. I will be there. I will get in my gas guzzling car because I want the big car that uses all the gas, and I will drive cross country. Flying High, what's going on, man? J-Dog said they said that about DeAndre Swift, that he was injury prone with the Lions. You never know because I feel like just say they're injury prone, but it's true about Barkley. Didn't have a no. I mean, listen, Barkley had no offensive line. I mean, that was a really bad offensive line. He really had no quarterback, and then he had no receivers. Do you know? His rookie year, they had Odell Beckham Jr. He had 1,000 yards. The rest of the years with the Giants for Barkley, they never had a receiver over, I believe, 700 yards. Like, Barkley had nothing around him. I don't think people realize how bad it was. And Barkley still put up numbers. I mean, imagine being a guy where every week the only guy that teams are worried about are you, and that they're going to do everything to come at you, and you're still putting up numbers. No, Barkley now with talent around him, I'm telling you, he's going to be a top 3 back easy. Jalen Carter take over. Oh, Jalen Carter is definitely going to have a big year. Let's see. Brandley Gown says, not seeing Tyler Steen out here on the practice field. So Steen may have left injured. We don't know what's going on with Steen, but he's not been out there for a while. That's something to keep an eye on. Julian Aguara is an undrafted free agent, offensive tackle. Adam Dankwa, a lot of trouble. Now Julian Aguara from Detroit, he came over from Detroit. They said the kid's got a lot of upside. Maybe he'll show us something. Peter Rice's Eagle season. Absolutely. Yeah, Barkley played at MetLife. You understand how bad that feels? Yeah, it's bad. It really is bad. If you look at Barkley, the year the Giants go to the playoffs and win, they won the first round. I mean, that was all Barkley. Sorry, offensively, that's all Barkley. Nobody is scared of Daniel Jones. The only threat was Barkley. Now Barkley comes, and what are you going to do? You can't treat Barkley the same way you did in the Giants because of A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Goddard, Hurts' ability to run. I mean, Barkley's going to be a top 3 running back. And if the Eagles don't use them the right way, then shame on them. Texas boy. Poor Texas boy. How's Jordan Love's contract, Texas boy? Frank says, do you think Hurts lost weight to take pressure off his knee? I don't think it was for that. I don't think he lost all that much weight. But I think sometimes these guys, they like to put on mass because they think it helps them take hits during the season. So to me, he just looked a little more bulkier last summer or last year. McNabb used to do it all the time too. It was too much. But I think he definitely looks like I think Hurts looks 10, 15 pounds lighter, and from everything we're hearing, he looks really fast. Vikings only lost because they didn't convert that 4th and 10 versus the Giants in the playoffs. Yeah. I mean, but the Giants don't even get to the playoffs if it's for Barkley. Barkley put up, I don't remember what he did that year, but I do know that Barkley put up big numbers. It's a long practice today too. I mean, they're like an hour and a half in. That's because they're off tomorrow. They're going to work. I like the way that practice is going in terms of. I like that they're running these guys are working. They are not just giving these guys. They're just not giving them days off. Who cares? Yep, nothing yet. Let me see. Let's get some highlights here. You never looked at what I sent you through the email. When did you send it? I'm having all sorts of computer problems right now. So if it was like in the last day or two, then yeah, I haven't really checked. I have to sign on my wife's computer and go through my email. Birdseed says people saying Barkley is injury prone. Forget he played at MetLife his entire career, at least 8 games every year. Understand how bad that field is. Oh yeah, it was bad. Your projected sacks are JC 12, Huff 10.5, Jordan Davis 8, Smith 11.5, White 6. Well, that would be huge. If that was the case, we'd be really good. Hurts looked completely uninterested in running the ball last year. He needs to run to be elite. He's a dual threat quarterback and trying to turn him into a. I mean, but they were also asking him to do a lot with a bump. I mean, he had a hurt knee too. I don't think the Eagles did anything to help him. You know what I mean? A for Jordan Davis, kind of crazy. No, it's huge. It would be huge. I don't know. I think Jordan Davis is in that 4.5 to 5.5 range. That's where I see him. I think Carter's about 9 to 11 sacks. Nolan Smith 6.5, 6 to 8 sacks. Huff 10 sacks, and then we need Sweat to be a double-digit guy. So I got Jalen Carter 11 sacks. What you said, I think that's about right. I think between 9 and 11 sacks for Carter this year. I think between 4 and 5.5 for Davis. Nolan Smith 6 to 8. Huff around 10, and then I think Josh Sweat needs to be 10 to 12. Where should the line be drawn? Number of Jalen Carter plays early in the season. I don't think it makes sense to overuse him. I don't know. I don't know how many exact reps. I think it's a field thing, but I think if you have a constant rotation, I think you should be okay. I do. Play by play with JJ. Just love child. Thank you, my man. It's only 35 sacks. Mine, but that's 35 sacks. You haven't even counted the other linebackers yet. Right? Devin White's very good blitz. You use him, right? Hopefully they use some other guys. You're going to have random guys get sacked. Milt Williams going to have 3-4 sacks maybe. You're going to have guys. So it should come out in the 40s. They should be in the 40s sack-wise. Yeah, Carter looks great. Yeah. Yeah, Barkley's stats in 2022 were 295 carries, 1,300 yards, 4.4 yards a carry, 10 touchdowns. Yeah, I mean, Barkley, think about that, J-Dog. That's Barkley's statistics when you have nothing else around him, literally nothing else, and he's still putting up those numbers. Teams say, we know Barkley's getting the ball. We know we got to stop Barkley, and he still puts up those numbers. Imagine what he does on our team. Jordan Davis 3 is low ball. I don't see Jordan Davis as like a 7-8 sack guy, though. Imagine having to throw the ball 108 times to one receiver, and that receiver can't eclipse 1,800 yards. Tyreek Hill gets less catches and got the same amount of yards. Tyreek Hill, his yards after the catch are ridiculous. Here we go. This is what I want to see. Jalen Hunt. Nice rush. Bats down Tanner McKee. Hunt is off to a good start so far. Dude, that could be like, you guys didn't see it. I didn't have it up. Crap. But check this out. Jalen Hunt making himself felt. Hunt, nice rush. Bats down Tanner McKee. Pass. Hunt is off to a good start so far. That's a great sign. That's great news. Cowboys about to be swept by every team in the division. Cowboys are like in chaos, man. They are in chaos. Unless Jordan Davis can just stop the run, that's all I need. He can do that. I think he can give you 4.5, 5.5 sacks a year. I don't think that that's impossible by any means. I don't. It's a long practice. They got to be about an hour and a half practice. No, there you go. So here we go. That's it for practice. An hour and 40 minutes. Another good day for Jalen Hurts and the offense. Jalen Hurts, another good day. He's starting to stack those days upon each other. That's what you want to see. Keep stacking those practice days upon. We haven't heard anything where Jalen Hurts looked great today. Jalen Hurts didn't look as good as he did yesterday. No, every day Jalen Hurts is on the money. Jalen Hurts is about to have a monster year. An hour and 40-minute practice because they're off tomorrow. Good. I like it. I like the way they started camp. They start with a practice, another practice, then a walkthrough, and then a practice. They've practiced 3 times already. It took them like 2 weeks to practice 3 times last year. Barkley will rush for over 1,500. I have them somewhere in the 1,300 to 1,400 yard range. I do. Another week in the books, absolutely. 500, Mark Holmes said Dak is worth 3 first-round picks. Well, obviously, the Cowboys don't really value him that much. They don't want to pay him. Yeah, I think they're going to run. My personal opinion, Renard, is I think they're going to run more than people think, especially early in the year. I think it's going to surprise people, but I think they're going to run a little more than people think they are. That's going to be one of the big surprises. I think especially early on with the new coordinator, I think you come out and you run. Now, that would be a surprise. Everybody's not expecting it, I know. But I think Barkley is going to be used often and a lot early in the year as they get acclimated to a new coordinator. But that's just my opinion. Patty Mahomes says, Eagles and Cowboys are going to split like they always do. Even when the Cowboys miss the playoffs, it seems like we split every year. It does. Cowboys they might quit by the time they play us the second time. 8 sacks for Davis. Oh, without question. Without question. You say 3.5 for Davis? Yeah, I could see that. To me, I always saw like 5.5 as max. That's a high end of what I think Davis does. I just don't see Davis as a sack guy. Now I'll say this: what teams did last year, they double teamed Jordan Davis early, but then they started double teaming Jalen Carter. And when they do that again this year and they're double teaming Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis got to get to the quarterback. Like, he's got to improve his pass rushing skills. And if he can do that, even if he's not getting the quarterback, but he's putting pressure, it'll be huge. Ezra Long, thank you for super chat. He goes, "Go Birds, finally able to hear live work. Be wildfire." Thank you, man. I appreciate you being here. Appreciate it. Hurts is locked in, and he sounds like he's having fun. Yeah, just like he feels like recharged, ready to go. He's lighter. He looks like he's in a good place right now. Since Wentz is on the Chiefs now, do you think okay? Yeah, he's got a really good chance. That's for sure. He's got a great chance. Jay knows it. Did you see the Bryce Huff told reporters that he's good at stopping the run? He said maybe they assume it's his weight aside. I didn't see that he said that, but I hope it's true. We need him to be good at it, you know. Let's see. I think Jalix Hunt will be the second pass rusher behind Huff, and Nolan Smith will be rotated. Wow. That would be crazy, because I really looked. I thought of my impression of Jalix Hunt was a kid with a tremendous upside, very talented, but needed like a couple years to develop. If we could get that from him quickly, it would be huge. So, new day and age, we are sweeping the turds. I like it. Yeah, they said. Yeah, we talked about that. They mossed Ringo. I'm dying and hoping that we're going to get a chance to see it. We'll see though. Brooks, thank you for the super chat. Wish we could get both Simmons and Reddick. Reddick's holding out, so there's no chance now of that. But I think Justin Simmons. I think there's a chance. I think there's a chance. Yeah, no player's going to tell you they're bad at something like stopping the run. That's the kind of mindset. That's true. Let's see. Big Max 14-3. I like it. True Eagle says one of the best draft picks Howie made was picking Hurts. Yeah, I no question about it. No question about it. JOK, I think JOK would be such an interesting player. I bet you Fangio would love to have JOK. He would probably he'd use them all over the place. That's for definitely sure. So practice is over. Let's see here. They're saying Mitchell got a lot of first team reps here. Let me put this up. So somebody asked, did Mitchell get first team reps at corner? And they said plenty. That's good news. There's Howie leaving camp, getting ready to go make a deal. Kellen Moore, Landon Dickerson. Man, I love it. So that's pretty much it. So practice is pretty much done. Hour 40-minute practice. The Eagles are off tomorrow. I'll have a video tomorrow. I'll have a video later. I'm going to do a recap of practice, and hopefully we can figure out where that Moss video is of Smitty, Moss, and Ringo. Will be awesome. But let me thank you guys for joining me this morning. I'm going to go get some caffeine in me. But shout out to each and every one of you guys. I won't be streaming tomorrow, I don't think. But Monday, of course, we'll be back. And as long as you guys want me to continue doing these live streams during practice, I will continue doing them. So just let me know. But let me thank you guys so much. I hope each and every one of you guys have a great day. I'm going to get out of here, and I'll be back. I will be back later with the video. So with that said, I'm going to let you guys go. You all have a wonderful day. Thank you once again for all the generous donations. Thank you guys for being here and just hanging out with me. I really, really appreciate it. And it's true. Mark Holmes loves Granny's see-through panties. No doubt about it. With that said, peace.
Time.
Come on.
Oh, shit! Dad! No! It's over! It's over! This game is over! Cut it off! It's over! Fuck. Congratulations, Green Bay. Congratulations, Green Bay. Congratulations, Green Bay.
I said run the ball.
Congratulations, Green Bay. Dak Prescott, you need to be fired today. That was on you, Dad. That was on you, Dad. That was on you, Dad.
I said run the ball.
That was on Dak Prescott. Trying to feed the Lamb. Trying to feed the Lamb. You trying to feed the Lamb. You got to give it to C. Lamb. God. It's over. It's over, Dad. Put Trey Lance in the game. Trey Lance can't do worse than you.
I'm an idiot because I buy into this shit. I buy into this shit. Because here's the thing. I am a grown-ass man. And I talk the talk. It is killing me.
And I feel it coming.
You gotta do something.
I feel like it's gonna take Jerry Jones taking. Cut it off. It's over.